Dido, ruler of Carthage and of contradictions, a wife of ashes, a chaste lover, an isolated leader, a too fortunate tragedy, Dido may as well be the poster queen for discordance. From her tragic roots in Tyre to her painful, premeditated suicide in a burning pyre of her ex-lover's belongings, Dido is iconic in culture as a woman who is at head, heart, and everything in between, conflicted. We often assume that Dido's madness arises from her love affair with Aeneas, and if there's ever a time where she seems fundamentally out of sync with her surroundings, it's then, in lines 300 to 4 of Book 4 of the Aeneid, when she runs through the streets like a bacchant. Despite this direct allusion to Bacchism, synonymous in Virgil's Rome with anonymous mass emotionalism, Dido is alone in the streets of Carthage. A singular worshipper, an image so bizarre it cannot help but invoke pity. This is popular culture's Dido, a woman incensed into insanity by off-the-charts levels of divine interference, a ping-pong ball in a celestial game of table tennis, lightweight, easily crushed, used for entertainment and ultimately disposed once no longer useful. But is it true to state that Dido's discord begins and ends with her relationship to Aeneas? Remember, Dido is a woman who adorns the walls of her citadel with gory images of a foreign war, like a teenager hangs up posters of celebrities, which isn't exactly a sign of mental stability. And we cannot dismiss the acute psychological damage that Sychaeus himself inflicts. Quite unlike Creusa's heavenly imploring to Aeneas in Book 2, what spurs Dido on to leave Tyre is visions of her husband's mutilated corpse. And then, once she's forced to give in to love for Aeneas, Sychaeus' shrine turns all her offerings into rancid gore, a metaphorical kick to the teeth from beyond the grave made of sheer guilt. Ouch! Sychaeus' disapproval entraps Dido into her direst straits, and this is reflected in the place where she dies, a courtyard metaphysically walled in to her own tragic fate. So what of peace? By the time Aeneas reaches the underworld in Book 6, Dido is reunited with her true love and her troubled life put to everlasting rest. Yet we cannot honestly describe Dido's fate as peaceable. In describing her as made of marble, lines 470 to 4, there's an uncomfortable link back to the citadel walls and courtyard which became places of torment for her while she lived, and the striking visual imagery of her great wound still raw matches those of her husband's, acting as constant visual reminders to the two most traumatic periods in her entire life. Wandering a cold and gloomy underworld, her body marred for eternity is the best resolution Dido gets. Yet it does a disservice to both the text and the character to simply decide whether Dido's fate is satisfying or unsettling. For to proclaim that is to dispel the entire complexity of Dido in the first place. If her internal conflict could easily be explained away in 4 minutes, it would not be very great at all. But maybe, in the fact that Dido can inspire such fierce debates, even today, about the nature of justice, what we owe to love, the limits of human empathy, and whether Dido was struck by fate or doomed from the very beginning, is a resolution to the discord in itself.